What's up, guys? Hope you guys are doing all right. This is the third standard reteach, standard 7.1. This is the probability standard. This should be really quick because there's only two questions, and again, nothing too crazy here, but I'll go ahead and start this off with question one. So, based off the images above, what is the probability that blank, blank, and blank? So, first is pulling out a scalene triangle. So, what it means to be scalene is that all sides are different. Isosceles, we said that the definition was that at least two sides are congruent or equal. So I want to write that one actually. Isosceles triangles are just what it means to be isosceles. That means at least two sides are congruent, which also means just to be equal. Okay. So hopefully that does help there. Can I move this? No, I cannot move this. Okay. Now, and then lastly, at least one side is 8 units long. To clarify this one, what this means is one of the sides is 8 units long. One of the sides is 8 units long. It's not saying at least it's 8 units long. We're talking about one side. Just at least one side has to be 8 units long. So I'm going to go ahead and look at these pictures, and I'm going to sort of work through all of them just so we have enough information as possible. So the first question, it has an isosceles triangle. How do we know? Because these two sides are congruent by the tick marks. So if this is 8, that means this is 8. On the second one, we see another set of all equal sides. So this is also all 8s. For this question, we don't have the third side. However, we do have this right angle. And in a right angle, in a right triangle, if you have two sides, you can find the third using Pythagorean theorem. So 6 squared plus b squared is equal to 10 squared. 36 plus b squared is equal to 100. Minus 36 from both sides. I'm going to go over here. So b squared is equal to 64. And how do you get rid of this? You square root both sides. So we end up getting b is equal to 8. And little do you know, this side also ends up being 8. Now, for here, this is 6. This is also going to be 6. But again, we have another right angle here. So I'm actually going to do Pythagorean theorem one more time. So this is our hypotenuse because it's right across the right angle. So we got 6 squared plus 6 squared is equal to c squared. And so 36 plus 36 is equal to c squared. 72 is equal to c squared. And to take the square root of this would actually not be a whole number. This would actually be bigger than 8. Because if the square root of 64 is 8, then this is going to be bigger than 8. But it's not a whole number. So if I were to reduce this, we did some practice in the beginning of the year, so radicals. So I know that the numbers 8 times 9 equals 72. So I'm going to do that. 8 and 9. And I know that this ends up being 3. For 8, I can multiply it into 4 and 2. So 2 and 4. But the square root of 4 is 2. So once I multiply this, and this, well, I know that 2 times 3 is 6. So to simplify this, it ends up being 6 square root 2. And so in this case, it's not c, it's 6 root 2. The last triangle, we only know that this is 8. We don't know what this is, and we don't know what this is. So that's fine. We can just leave this as is. Okay. Actually, let me just clarify this one now. So since we know that that is going to be 6 square root 2, we can just put that here. And so now let's go about these questions. First things, we have a scalene triangle. Well, this isn't scalene because we know that two sides are equal. This isn't scalene because we know that three sides are equal. This one is scalene because it's 6, 8, and 10. And this is scalene because if you notice the tick marks, each of them have a different amount of tick marks. So they're all going to be different. So we can say that this is 2 over 5. Now, it will tell you to reduce it as 0.4, but I go through your test, and so if you put 2 over 5, this also is a valid answer. Okay. Now, isosceles triangles. We're going to use this definition. At least two sides are congruent. For the first one, yes, this is clearly isosceles. For the second one, a lot of you guys will say this is an equilateral triangle. It's not isosceles, Mr. Chun, but based off of this definition, it is. at least two sides are congruent. So this is also an isosceles triangle. And then this is not. This is because they both have 6. And once again, this last one is not. So we have 3 triangles out of the total 5. So 3 out of 5, which that matches up. And lastly, at least one side is 8 units long. So if I go through all these, 8, 8, 8, no 8, and 8. So we have a total of 4 over 5 triangles, which ends up being 0.8. All right, the last question. Most people got this right. I know some people got tripped up here because I know it's a probability question. So a bag contains 88 triangles. If I pick one at random, what is the probability that I pull out a triangle that has an angle sum of 180 degrees? Well, a lot of people actually said it would be 100%. Why? Because according to the triangle angle sum theorem, all the triangles have an angle sum of 180 degrees. So a way that I would say it, here's an example. All triangles have a sum of 180 degrees. Actually have an angle sum because according to the triangle angle sum theorem, so the probability would be 100%, or 88 out of 88. So this is a nice explanation. It says the reason, because of the triangle angle sum theorem, your answer is 100% or 88 over 88, whatever works for you. They are the same thing. And that's really all you need to do. So this is sort of a trick question because you have a bunch of triangles. The easy way to think is like, maybe some of them are, some of them aren't. But you guys have to keep in mind, like, according to the triangle angle sum theorem, all the triangles have a sum of 180 degrees. So please keep that in mind as you go throughout the rest of the school year. It'll come back every single time, I guarantee it. So hopefully this helps. Again, let me know if you have any questions, and hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.